Welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Judy Taylor, President of the Habersham County Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for joining us. Today I have three exciting guests. I have author and artist John Collick, Mary Beth Horton, and Brian Horton. And my first guest is John Collick. Welcome, John.
Thank you, dear. Nice to be here.
Well, thank you. I have been so excited about your being on this program. And John, you are a living legend, an icon, and a beloved citizen in this community.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, you are.
I don't notice it.
Oh, goodness, and let me again congratulate you on being the Habersham County End of the Year.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that.
Well,
very flattered.
You were certainly deserving of that. Now let's talk about your artwork.
All right.
How long have you been doing art?
Well, actually, I've been drawing since I was about 4 years old, and I used to lay down on the floor and copy the comic strips out of the newspapers, just line drawing. And I enjoyed that. I was telling a story, and I like telling stories. In fact, I am a storyteller. Well, they said, well, he's got some kind of talent, so we'll send him to art school. So I went to a little neighborhood art school for a while, and we glued down pieces of paper, and we did little fiddly things. And I said, well, that's not any fun. I don't want to do that. I want to do art, draw pictures. So I drew pictures, and I cartooned all the way through grammar school and high school, drawing pictures of my friends doing things. So I came to college, and I said, I'm not going to study art. So I'd been in theater work in Atlanta. So I said, okay, I'm going to study theater. So what I wound up doing was studying scene design, and which I enjoyed and went on with that.
And where were you in school at that time?
I was in Atlanta. We lived in Atlanta. We came up here as much. Well, I spent all the summers, every summer up here. In fact, I was born, and 3 days later they brought me up here. That was the first time I'd been to Habersham County, but I've been there ever since. And I did have to go to school in Atlanta, but I would come here all summer, every summer. So that's when I absorbed all of the local ways and customs and the people, because I grew up basically with local people.
Right. And you just seem to have such a love for this county.
I do.
And it just shows, it is just obvious. And John, how do you go about gathering your background material for your paintings, because your paintings always tell a story?
Well, I'm a storyteller. That's
yes,
why.
you are. And how do you go about deciding what you're going to paint? How do you go about gathering your materials?
Well, it starts with a subject. I try to think of a local subject that would be worth doing a picture about, that would tell a story of the area. And I'll show you a little bit here. Here's one.
Now, which one is this, John?
This is Clarkesville during the court week back in 1947.
1947.
1947. Well, of course, I knew the courthouse then.
That's the old courthouse.
That's the old courthouse, the courthouse. What's there now is not the courthouse.
I understand that.
So I had that, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I said I wanted to show court week with all the old people sitting out along the rock wall, because if they sat there long enough, they might be called for jury duty. If they got jury duty, they get $6 a day.
So they wanted to be called.
They wanted to be called. So they'd line up there. When it came to painting the thing, I had what the building looked like. I knew what a rock wall looks like. Didn't have any old people. So I looked around. I said, okay, I guess I'm the only old person around. So I put on my coveralls, and I sat out on the wall and let Nancy take a bunch of pictures. So all of the little old men are me.
Oh, that is interesting, John.
Now, the other building.
Where'd you get your animals? I see some dogs there.
Well, I've got a lot of dogs and cats and animals around me all the time. I need a picture, I just got to take it real quick. But everything in there tells a story.
It surely does.
I have to tell a story to myself as I'm going along.
Right.
And then I get, the research comes from studying and reading, and you listen to people talk, hearsay. But having lived at this period, it was easy to do. So that's the way one of them starts.
Well, I have several of your paintings. I love your paintings. I have several in my home. And I always look on the back of a painting.
Yeah, that's right. That's where you get the history.
Yes, that is always what I call the documentation.
Yeah, well,
and it adds so much to it. Well, tell me about this.
Well, this was a collection of 30 or 40 paintings. After we'd done them for a while and made prints out of them, then I would come back and put them into a book. So we put together 3 or 4 books.
I have that painting.
Yeah, that's one of the old rooms in my grandmother's house. That's this. This is the high chair that I used to sit in when I was little, and I didn't like to eat, so I would bang my head on these knobs. I think that accounts for a lot of me. So.
But you illustrated that and you wrote it.
Yeah.
So you're an author and an artist.
Yeah, but not a historian. I'm not a historian because I'm not totally accurate about anything. A lot of it's hearsay, a lot of it's good stories. But then you get into regular subjects. There's a lot about, I take a location, like this is the Charm House and the Presbyterian Church.
It is.
And so I said, okay, I want to show those buildings because people like that. But I also want to tell a story, so I put it in the snow with all the way people get around during the snow.
Right.
So that's the way a book will happen. That's the way prints happen.
That is so interesting, John. And you know what? We're going to have to talk fast because our time is about up.
Okay.
But I want to talk a little bit about this right here, the Hello Habersham.
Oh, okay.
This is the County Resource Guide.
Right.
And it is a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and with the Northeast Georgian.
Right.
And this year, your artwork is going to grace the cover of this publication. And tell us how you are deciding what to put on the front of that, because I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't.
Well, Lane asked me to do this thing, or the editors asked me, and they wanted it spot in various places in the county in the magazine. Well, that was easy, except for one. I didn't have anything on Alto. So I had to go down to Alto, went down there and tried to find what I could depict. And then we went into the station there, and they had pictures all on the wall. And one of them was the old street in Alto. And they also showed me they had a T-shirt with that same old street on it. I said, okay, that's the picture. So that's for Alto, that's the one.
So it's kind of like a collage.
Yeah, well, no, all the way, scattered all the way through the thing. At least that's what they told me they're going to do. Now the cover, I didn't want it one place. I wanted to sort of express my feeling about the county, about the friendliness, the nature, the fact that nature is all around us, and people are relaxing. They come in here, or they live here, and they just love the area. So I said, now what's going to tell that? I finally decided that I would do a painting of the Malden Gardens in Clarkesville.
Oh.
So I took an angle on the Malden Garden and painted that with all the flowers coming up through there, and hoped that that would express what I felt about the county.
That will be, I haven't seen it, John, but that will be beautiful. We need to have an unveiling. We need to have an unveiling of that. And also now, this year when people get Hello Habersham, the cover will literally be a keepsake.
Yeah.
It could be a keepsake. John, I can't believe it, but our time is up.
Well, I enjoyed all of this.
I wish we had much more time because you could keep people interested for hours talking, because you are a storyteller.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed being here.
But we appreciate you in this county so very much. You have put this county on the map.
Well,
and just thank you.
It deserves to be.
Yes, it does. And thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short commercial break. Please stay with us. We will be right back.
Hear from your doctors at Chestatee Regional Hospital.
Any community that's growing like this community is needs a good medical facility for people to go to.
We have an exceptional level of medical and surgical proficiencies in the area.
You're going to get the same care here you would anywhere in the country.
Chestatee does offer a very personal touch, and I think that's one of the greatest assets of the hospital.
And it should be supported to help keep the community going.
This is Mitch Simpson at Mitch Simpson Motors in Cleveland, and we want you to know that if you're looking for a good car, truck, or SUV, you're approved, no matter what your credit looks like. We know that bad things are happening to a lot of good people, but you still need a good vehicle to get you where you need to go. So come see us. We're right here in Cleveland at Mitch Simpson Motors.
Thank you for staying with us. My next guest for today is Mary Beth Horton, manager of the Clarksville Better Hometown program. Welcome, Mary Beth.
Thank you.
And Mary Beth, as you know, the Clarksville Better Hometown Program is the Chamber's Member of the Month.
I know, we're so excited about it.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
You are very deserving of that because you have really been in the news lately. You've been doing a lot of things. But let's start out by talking a little bit about the history and the background of the Better Hometown Program. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, well, the Better Hometown Program is basically a self-help program, meaning that it's community involved, and it's economic development through downtown revitalization, historic preservation, and just creating a sense of place. So we strive to bring traffic into town by the means of the different events that we have. We try to attract businesses and retain the businesses that we have. And the aesthetics of downtown is also very important to us. So we kind of have a four-point approach, I guess, to revitalization. So that's sort of the purpose of Better Hometown.
Well, you have been so successful with it. And at Christmas time, it was just beautiful with all the lights. And I know that you also have the help of the CBCA, is that it?
Yeah, the Business Association.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we all just work very well together as a community. So the merchants, you know, were responsible for all of the beautiful lights and displays through town. But
people love coming to Clarksville. It's quaint, and you have wonderful restaurants there on the square and off the square too. But you have just done a great job with this, Mary Beth. Now, we have two towns in Habersham that are Better Hometown programs, both Cornelia and Clarksville. Is this unusual for a county to have two?
We are, in fact, the only county in the state that has two, so we are unique. There is no other, out of the 103 Better Hometown programs in Georgia, Habersham County is the only county that has two. So we're very lucky.
Well, you know what? That speaks well for Habersham County.
Absolutely it does.
It does. It speaks so well for us. It makes me feel proud to be a Habersham County.
Oh, yes.
Now, Mary Beth, the Clarksville program has really been in existence about 6 years or so?
No, not that long.
Not that
just
long.
since 2010. So we're still newborns, as it's considered.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking about the Cornelia program has been in existence longer.
Cornelia program's older than us by 8 years, maybe.
Okay, but your Better Hometown program has gained momentum lately. What do you attribute that to?
Community buy-in, I think. I think
you have so much of that.
Yeah, you know, when you start out, I think there's a lot of skeptics out there who think, you know, nobody can turn around our downtown, and there's nothing that can be done. And I think once you successfully complete events and you begin to, I guess, build confidence among the citizens and among the business owners, and slowly people begin to buy into the program and buy into your approach and your effort, and and that's what I would attribute all of the success to, is the community has bought in and continues to.
It certainly appears that way. And you seem to have so many volunteer workers.
That's this program is volunteer.
That is the key to it.
Yes, I mean that we do have. I probably have about 35 volunteers that just, you know, generously donate their time on the weekends and at night and to come and do these events. So I could not do it alone. It's definitely a group effort.
That's right. But you still lead the pack. I
try.
And you have done an excellent job for it. Now, Mary Beth, we could talk about what all the program has done, and it would take us much longer than we have today. But what are some of your recent accomplishments?
Well, we just held our first ever Mardi Gras event.
I know you did.
And that was, you know, we were testing the waters. We weren't sure how the community would receive it, and we sold out tickets. You
packed the old Clarksville Mill, I guess in the ballroom.
The ballroom, we did.
You packed it.
We did, and we packed it with folks who were dressed in tuxedos and gowns and costumes and masks, and it was just, it surpassed our expectations for a first-year event. We raised almost $10,000, just shy of $10,000. And all of the proceeds, of course, go to our facade grant. So all of the money just recycles back into the community for the buildings to receive assistance for any exterior improvements. So, I mean, the fruits of of that event will continue to grow in the coming
Definitely.
years. Yeah.
But it was one of the most fun events, and I heard that people who you would never think would be up dancing, that they danced half the night.
They
already.
did. They did. I'll never tell, but it was a fun event.
Well, have you been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans?
Never.
I can't believe that, because it was such a replica.
It was, but it was Clarkesville style.
It was Clarkesville
So we
style.
kept a lot of the traditions of Mardi Gras from all over. I mean, not just New Orleans traditions. Mobile, Alabama, we did a moon pie toss. So we tried to keep a lot of the Mardi Gras traditions in place with a little Clarkesville spin.
But you certainly had the Mardi Gras type food.
We did, and the
Yes.
restaurants downtown, you know, all contributed dishes for that, and it was just it was a huge community effort and a
fun for the
successful one.
community.
And fun.
And fun for the community, too. Well, tell us, what's coming up in 2013? What do you have coming up this year?
Well,
it's going to be hard to top Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And Mardi Gras was a this year event.
It was a this year event. I guess our next biggest thing is the Mountain Laurel Festival, of course, which will happen in May.
That's right.
And
this will be, what, how many years?
51st.
51st year.
51st year, and all of the favorite things are coming back. The parade and the live entertainment, and the fireworks were a hit last year, so we're going to have the fireworks as a finale.
And it is again listed on the top 20 events.
For the third consecutive year.
For the third consecutive
we are a top
year.
20 event.
Top 20 events in the Southeast.
That's right.
So that
That's
is
a
exciting.
distinguished honor for the festival. And then we'll have, of course, our Friday night movies, summer movie series that we'll do in the parks. We partner with Cornelia, and Taste of Clarksville in the fall.
That's right.
And that was recently named a top 20 event.
I
Taste of
know
Clarksville.
that.
So,
Congratulations on that.
thank you.
That
Thanks.
is exciting too. Mary Beth, thank you so much for being on Chamber Chat
Thank
today.
you,
There's a
Judy.
lot more we could talk about.
We could talk forever.
We could, but we do appreciate what you do, and we appreciate what you do to bring tourists and visitors to Habersham County.
Well, thank you so much.
And please stay with us. We're going to take another short commercial break, and we will be right back.
This is Mitch Simpson at Mitch Simpson Motors in Cleveland. We've got one of the largest selections of good used cars, trucks, and SUVs anywhere in North Georgia. We've always got about 150 to choose from, and most of them are priced less than $10,000. Check out what we've got today on our website. It's MitchSimpson.com. Or better yet, just come see us. We're right here in Cleveland at Mitch Simpson Motors.
Hear from your doctors at Chestatee Regional Hospital.
Any community that's growing like this community is needs a good medical facility for people to go to.
We have an exceptional level of medical and surgical proficiencies in the area.
You're going to get the same care here you would anywhere in the country.
Chestatee does offer a very personal touch, and I think that's one of the greatest assets of the hospital.
And it should be supported to help keep the community going.
Thank you for staying with us. My last guest today is Brian Horton with Community Bank and Trust, also an adjunct teacher with Piedmont College and a leader in the Business Resource Center. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I really appreciate your being on today. And Brian, let's just go ahead and answer the question that I know everybody is wondering about right now, right up front. The beautiful young lady who was interviewed just prior to your coming on is your wife.
I can verify that is true.
That is right. She is your wife, and it's Mary Beth Horton and Brian Horton.
That's right.
So I know people had to be thinking, are they husband and wife?
Yes, we are the dynamic duo.
Yes, you are. And now people know what a handsome couple we have in Habersham County.
Well, I think she carries most of the weight of that responsibility. I think she does a pretty good job on
Well,
that.
I think together you all make a very handsome
Thank you.
couple.
I appreciate it.
But, Brian, today we're talking about the Business Resource Center.
Correct.
That is a partnership with the Chamber, with Piedmont College, and with North Georgia Technical College. And a lot of people, in fact, most people who are hearing this probably don't know what the Business Resource Center is. Would you just tell our audience a little bit about how it got started, exactly what we do?
Sure. Well, you know, the Business Resource Center really came out of doing some small business roundtable seminars that we were doing for the chamber, and I had been approached about doing some seminars for some local small business owners, and so I did those seminars at the chamber office, and then Wade Rhodes had kind of coordinated that effort, and he later on got with me and said, you know, we really need to provide that kind of business plan consulting, small business consulting. We need to take that to the next level, because, you know, we've got people like yourself that can provide that knowledge. Certainly institutions like Piedmont College and North Georgia Technical College, we have the resources to do this. You know, we just need to get in a position where we can provide consulting for local business, and not just small business, but really all business in Habersham County. And so from that idea, Wade and I basically took that to both the colleges, spoke with Dr. Meisner at Piedmont College, and got Robert Knighton and some folks involved at North Georgia Technical College, and basically agreed that this is something that we needed to do for the community. We feel strongly that we can take care of our own in this community in terms of resources such as, you know, developing a business plan, human resources, technology, all those things that are important to businesses. We have enough smarts throughout this community to figure those problems out, and so that was kind of the initial goal.
Absolutely it was. And the chamber had already been advertising to people that we would give help with starting a business.
Right.
And that, of course, is what we want to do to grow the economy of Habersham County. And it just worked out so well for the Chamber and Piedmont College and North Georgia Tech to partner. And I would say that the Chamber's partnership with this is that we are the ones that get the people walk in the door and say, I'm starting a business. I need help with a business plan.
Right.
And then we are the referral part of it.
Exactly.
And however, all of you are chamber members.
That's right.
So you and Wade and John Meisner and Robert Knighton, who work in it, they're all chamber members. So it's still, you know, it's giving assistance to the people in the community, though. But we don't just help startup businesses. You've worked with several. You or your students.
That's right.
Have worked with a lot of existing industries.
Right. Well, and that's true. I mean, I teach. I'm an adjunct professor at Piedmont College, and I teach entrepreneurship class, which is really about small venture management. And small venture doesn't mean small business. I mean, you know, anything with 100 employees or less is considered small business. Those businesses could be doing $5 million a year in revenues or $500,000. It just depends. But so we have had the opportunity through the Business Resource Center to plug students into projects, primary research projects for local business, which is great. It gives our students the kind of lift the curtain or the veil, if you will, and see what kind of businesses are here in their community that could be potential employers. And it also gives the employers an opportunity to see the kind of talent that's being produced by our local institutions.
Absolutely.
So I think it's great.
I believe that some of the students have gotten jobs.
They have.
They've gotten permanent jobs out of some of this assistance.
Absolutely. That's correct.
And it is also an opportunity for the students, and it's mostly the advanced students, I believe, the MBA students or advanced students, and sometimes faculty and staff are working on it too. But it is an opportunity for them to be involved in real-world situations and not working on a hypothetical.
Right. Well, and that's what I tell my students is this is something you can, once we do a project, for example, we did a marketing project for PowerGuard, which is a division of HEMC. That's their security division. We did a marketing plan for them, and I told all my students this is something you can save and you can attach it to your resume. This is something you can put in your portfolio of something you've actually done for a local business, and I think that that's a great opportunity for them, and it's worked out extremely well, so we're excited.
And last year, I think I kept up with most of our projects, not all of them, but most of them. We did, or you all did, over 15 different projects.
Yes.
You worked with over 15 different companies.
That's right.
And it was the students and the faculty and the staff.
That's right.
And I heard testimonials from some of these people. For example, Joey Duncan with the Black Bear Resort in White County. He gave a testimonial at a chamber meeting, and he was just blown away.
Well, and that's the nice thing about it is it really is a win-win situation for the businesses in our community, and for our students. And again, our goal is to help businesses that want to start here, but we also want to strengthen the businesses that are already here.
Absolutely.
If we got to grow this economy and this job base one job at a time, we're willing to do that. And so I think it's just kind of a testament to our determination to put on this kind of project. And
to grow the county, as you said. Now, so far, no fees have been charged.
No, that's correct. We are selective in the process of projects that we'll take on, and that's strictly because of demand. But we want something that we think that we can be successful with, and that the students will have an opportunity with. And it's not just student projects. There's oftentimes it's one-on-one consulting, where I'll get involved or somebody else will get involved with some help on business planning or financial projections or whatever it is. So you're right. I mean, we have lots of projects coming down the pipeline, but we are selective in the ones that we choose that we participate in.
And I would like to tell our audience, or you can tell our audience, if anybody is interested in getting assistance, that they can contact the Chamber.
Correct.
And that is 706-778-4654, or they could actually contact any of the ones we mentioned. That's you, John Meisner, Robert Knight, and they could contact anyone with North Georgia Technical College or Piedmont College. But generally the referrals come through the Chamber.
Yeah, we found that to be the easiest way to kind of get the people to us, so that's definitely the way to do it.
Well, Brian, thank you for you and your family.
Thank you.
Being on Chamber Chat today.
I appreciate it.
I have enjoyed it, and I always end with a quote. And today I am ending with a quote in honor of my very first guest, John Collick. And it is a quote that you have heard thousands of times. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is by Napoleon Bonaparte. Thank you for joining us today, and I'll see you next time.
Hear from your doctors at Chastity Regional Hospital.
Any community that's growing like this community is needs a good medical facility for people to go to.
We have an exceptional level of medical and surgical proficiencies in the area.
You're going to get the same care here you would anywhere in the country.
Chastity does offer a very personal touch, and I think that's one of the greatest assets of the hospital.
And it should be supported to help keep the community going.